Alright, determine the condition for all equations and cases, not just one example that is needed if f of x times g of x is equal to negative g of x for part A, part B, f of g of x is 1, and part C, f of g of x is equal to x. Okay, so let's start with part A. We can understand that if you want f of x times g of x to equal negative g of x, then we can say that if f of x times g of x is equal to negative g of x, if this guy here is negative 1, right, then negative 1 times g of x is negative g of x. So if we let f of x equal negative 1, then this statement will always be true, okay? Part B, f of g of x is equal to 1. Well, you need f of x to cancel out with something, right? So the easiest way to do this is if g of x is equal to f inverse of 1. Okay. The reason for that is because if you have g of x is f inverse of 1, f of f inverse of 1 is basically 1, right? So if g of x is equal to f inverse of 1, that statement will be true, okay? So this is the scenario for the first statement to be true always. This is the scenario for the second statement to be true always. Part C, f of g of x is equal to x, right? Then basically, in order to cancel out g of x, if I say g of x is equal to f inverse of x, then f of f inverse of x, these two would cancel out and you get x, right? So if this statement is always held true, then this expression would be true.